we move to the top, we're rising. From undercover, future wealth providing. Bringing together men and women with knowledge. We stay vibing like the kids in college. Creating new lanes, showing no pity. Unity wins, this is for our kids. We New Jack City. Yeah, yeah. We New Jack City. Yeah, we New Jack City. We New Jack City. Yeah, they call us New Jack City. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, how y'all doing today? I'm Jerale Evans. This podcast is brought to you by New Jack City Capital.
I'm Ira, the president of New Jack City Capital.
Robert Brown, Master at Arms with New Jack City Capital.
All right, so as we're here right now at this property, this actually is my brother Jerale. And Jerale, what I want you to do is explain to them pretty much how you got into real estate and pretty much what do you do as far as in this industry and this umbrella of real estate.
Okay, how I necessarily got into, we're gonna break it down with as far as what I do. What I do is, as of now, concrete and home remodels. So been doing it for a long time, for about probably since 13 to 14. My dad brought the business to us, and we kind of took it and ran with it from there. But how I mostly got into real estate, it was really from my brother. You know, he coming back and forth, showing me checks after checks after check. Like, look, this the game, this where it's at. You know,
that money.
Yeah, you need to, you know, you need to go ahead and jump in it. So I started doing a lot of researching from there. I studied commercial real estate for 2 years, and then once I actually got into commercial real estate, my brother was still attacking me. I was actually seeing him taking action on a lot of properties. So I'm like, I need to hurry up and make a move. So I kind of just, he was pretty much my mentor. He's my mentor for about probably like a year and a half, and then I self-educated myself after that. So that's pretty much a little bit how I got into real estate, and yeah, I kind of took it and ran with it from there. So that's my story on how I got into real estate and a little bit more about what I do as a living. So we're gonna get to Rob. Rob, why don't you tell me how you got into real estate?
All right. Mine's a little similar to yours, because
Okay.
you know, that is my brother-in-law. So, you know, around 2015, you know, he started doing real estate.
Right.
I had just graduated college, and you know, I was, you know, on the ringer of whether I want to play football still, or do I want to go into IT.
Right.
So I watched him, you know, study, put action towards doing real estate, and probably like 3 years later, finally, he was like, hey man, I want you to join and come do this with me. And you know, I was tired of working a job, 9 to 5.
Right.
So I was like,
had to get in there.
I'm gonna just take that leap, you know? So
Monday.
I got into it. We joined forces together. Ever since then, we've been partners. But you know, basically, he was kind of like my mentor too. He taught me the game. I went out there, I saw it, you know, hand on,
Right.
and you know, I just did my own self studies as well. You know, watching YouTube videos, watching other people in the game doing it.
Right.
And here I am now. You know what I'm saying? Got my own business as well, and now we're trying to build a legacy here.
And pretty much what we're doing right now is we're gonna walk you guys through the BRRRR method on a property that we just acquired. So the BRRRR method pretty much is you're gonna buy a property, you're gonna rehab it, and then you're gonna rent it out, and then you're gonna refinance it, and then you're gonna repeat that whole process over again. And so as we here right now, my brother Dre, he's somewhat new to the BRRRR method, and so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have my brother Rob run the numbers down to him as far as what it looked like on this particular transaction and how we acquired it using the BRRRR method. And so from there, if Jerale got any questions, I'll go let him kick it off.
Yeah. So Rod, can you tell me specifically step by step how you guys actually ran the BRRRR method on this property behind us.
All right, so when you think of the BRRRR method or thinking about purchasing any property, a lot of people are what? They're scared. They're scared to dive in and take that risk because they don't have the capital up front to buy the property or to invest into it. So we kind of took the BRRRR method a little differently on this one because we added what you call a lender into it. So the first thing we did is what you got to do. You got to find the property. You got to get on the phone. So we called the seller, you know, set up a date and time, meet with them. You try and get them to see if they're motivated to sell it. So once we did that, next thing we did, what was different from what a lot of people do, a lot of people go and they'll run their own numbers and then they'll come back to negotiate the deal. What we did is we brought it to a lender. The lender does his own due diligence and then they'll kick back a number to us. So they'll give us the AVM on the property and then the lender will loan up to 75% of that price. So let's just say this house, for instance, is $300,000. That's what the AVM is. Our lender is only going to loan up to $225,000. All right. So for you not to bring any capital to the table, what you got to do is you got to get your purchase price, you got to get your rehab costs all under that 75% mark. So we came in, the seller wanted $150 for it. Rehab costs we estimated about $45. So you know we had $195 and we still got $225 on the table. So since we're under that $225, that 75% mark, we were able to acquire this property without bringing any of our own money into the deal. So that's basically how we attacked this deal and how we acquired it.
So
and as we acquired it, so as Rob pretty much ran through a simple BRRRR real quick about the BRRRR method, as we continue to do these methods, pretty much it allows you to acquire a vast amount of properties in a short amount of time, only if you understand the numbers. So in this game, as we continue to partake in this real estate industry, numbers is everything. So the numbers have to be right from the start. So a lot of people wait and they buy something and they wait on the long end to pretty much start profiting from the deal. We make sure before we lock the deal up that the property is pretty much, from the numbers perspective, from the jump, it's pretty much as in line as possible to where the number works for the seller and also works for us. So for us, we're not just focused on just our end. We want to make sure it's a win-win for us, the sellers, and obviously us as the buyers as well. But as we continue to do these with my partners and I, we got some real quick, nice strategies as well that we'll start breaking apart for y'all on the New Jack City Capital, as far as how we got a little bit more deeper into this deal and pretty much also how we was able to get assignment fee off of it as well. But as we continue to do this, y'all stay tuned and stay locked in because New Jack City got something coming.
All right, everyone, so you got a little snippet of what we did with the BRRRR method. So if you want to know a little bit more about how it worked and the numbers that go into it, follow us on our Facebook page, New Jack City Capital. There, you'll be able to get access to where we do New Jack City University classes, where to break down everything for you. Also, you'll get access to our mixers that we do once a month, where you'll be able to network with beginners, people that's already in the game, investors, a whole pool of different entrepreneurs. Come visit us. See you next time.
All right, how y'all doing? Just to recap from our last video that y'all saw pretty much we broke a deal down to y'all from actually one of the properties that we currently in the process of buying and closing on. So pretty much this, I'm Ira again, president of New Jack City, and this is my brother, Jerale, just to recap, just in case y'all weren't paying attention from the last one. But yeah, so pretty much what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna break down, we're gonna go into more deeper depths of what it looked like from the actual official numbers on, well, I can say official, some actual numbers on pretty much what a BRRRR method strategy looks like from the numbers perspective. And so we'll dive into pretty much just my brother, if he got any questions on it before we dive into the numbers as far as, you know, what we're going to pretty much looking to cover. If you got any questions before I kind of bring up the numbers for you guys to kind of see exactly what we're going to be chatting and what we're going to be talking about. So
let's start off with the buying first. Let's kind of go into steps.
Yeah, cool. So pretty much before I kind of bring out the numbers, what does it look like as a property? So first is you get a property, you want to evaluate the property. And as we kind of recapped, if y'all don't see the last video, getting into the dynamics of the area, what the buying towards, what's a high buy, what's a low buy, and also what the rehab number is going to look like, which is really going to affect the purchase or the value of that particular property once you get into that refinance stages of it.
Right.
So pretty much what we'll do, we'll go ahead and bring the old board out. So we wanted to make this up close in person. So we know everybody in all the videos, they got the big whiteboards, they got the whole, you know, the whole electronic whiteboards. We gonna make this a little bit personal, right? So pretty much y'all see right here, BRRRR method, which stands for buy it, renovate it, you're gonna rent it out, you're gonna refinance it, and then you're gonna repeat the process. All right, cool. All right, so pretty much as we break it down here, we did the numbers pretty much specifically and as swift as possible. So what I mean is we just did like kind of whole numbers. If y'all are mathematics like I am, we just did roughly whole numbers instead of the 38 5s, 38 8s. So we just gonna keep it simple, right? So Jerale, as you see this right here is the retail value. So also as the retail value, we consider it and we call it as the aftermarket retail value, which is the ARV. But I just made this simple as possible, right? So this is the retail value, right? So this right here, you're buying a property at $300,000.
Correct.
So when we say what the retail value is, that's what the house is gonna be worth once you fix it up to its fully maxed potential, right?
Gotcha.
So once you fix it up to its fully maxed potential, the purchase price, which means it's worth $300,000. Let's say you found this deal on market. Let's say you found it from a realtor who pretty much gave you a pocket listing, or they just kind of gave you a hookup, right?
Okay.
So let's say you bought this property at $100,000, right?
Right.
And it need repairs.
Of course.
So what does it look like on your day-to-day when you go into these houses, coming from a roof perspective?
So most of them be distressed. You know, most of them need a lot of rehab done to it. So I mean, from the roof, it could be anywhere from the roof, from the inside, from the flooring, from the drywall. So most of them be distressed when I actually go take a look at them. So definitely have to add value to it.
Okay, cool. All right, so like I said, we bond it at $100,000, and what we're gonna do is I pretty much broke it down to y'all as simple as possible, and these are really kind of almost accurate depending on the square footage or what a house would look like as you kind of get into the rehab of it.
Right.
So you're a roofer. So
Right,
what does the average number of a roof cost?
For an average base size house, you probably be right on the head, probably like 75 to 8 grand. So,
Okay. So in here we're gonna put 8,000, and then we're gonna do with the flooring, and so all these numbers will include the material as well. So you know, it ain't like you're gonna pay somebody $5,000 to do the labor work, and then you got to buy the material.
Exactly.
So 8,000 for the roof. We're gonna go with 5,000 for the flooring, and then we're gonna go with about $4,500 for the drywall. We're gonna hit them with the $3,500 for the plumbing.
Okay.
HVAC, we're gonna go with $4,500.
Okay.
And then the exterior paint, $2,500. And then the interior paint to wrap it up, $2 grand.
Right.
And all that is gonna total out to be the renovation cost of 30 grand. Now you may have some more other cosmetic stuff that you may want to do to the property for the most part, but other than that, we're just gonna kind of keep it simple with the 30 grand.
Gotcha.
So now we know we're gonna be all in from purchase price and renovation, all in at 130.
Gotcha.
All right, so once you get it as 130, you done got it fixed up. You got it looking all nice. You got it looking to pretty much for somebody to see it, they want to live in it, right?
Right.
And so this particular property, we're gonna run the numbers off of a duplex.
Okay.
So let's just say it's a duplex, right? So the rental income, let's say 2 bedroom, 1 bath duplex. We're gonna rent each one out about $1,500 a month. That totals about $3,000 a month.
Okay.
So it's generating income.
Okay.
And then just to dive a little deeper into it, that's pretty much a 10% return on the $300,000, right? So we bought it at 300, we renting it out at 3,000. That's a 10% return.
Okay.
And then the good part is the refinance part. So just to recap, we done bought it,
right,
and we done renovated it.
Right.
So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna pretty much get ready to refinance it.
Okay.
We're gonna refinance it, right? So we refinance. Now how the refi work, it's pretty much the refinance. They'll give you, here in the state of Florida, they'll give you 75 to 80%
Okay.
of the cash out refi.
Right.
And what a cash out refinance pretty much is, you guys will refi your property and you're gonna pull cash out of it. And what you're gonna do with that cash that you pull out of it, you're gonna pay off your lender. So let's just say we took a loan for the $100,000, right?
Right.
Plus
right.
the 30,000.
Okay.
So let's say we got a lender who linked us OPM, other people money. Just remember that, other people money. All right.
It's a must.
So 100,000 plus 30, y'all in at 130. Somebody linked you that. You got a little interest on the money. We ain't gonna go into that, but we'll keep it simple. So from there, we're gonna go in and we're gonna refi. So we're gonna start our refinance process. They go in. Let's say they evaluate the property at $300,000.
Right.
They're gonna give us 75% of that $300,000. That's gonna give us $225,000.
Correct. Correct.
So now with that, we got $225,000 out of $300,000. So remember, we got what, $130,000 from the rehab.
Right. Exactly.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pay the 130 off. But let's say the 130, don't forget, you got money from a lender, other people money again, other people money. That's the best thing, right? So let's just say they're gonna charge you, let's say on hand, kind of 10%, 12% return on their money.
Okay.
Somewhere in there, and we'll just kind of keep it. We ain't gonna dive too deep in that. But let's say that 130, let's say it turns into like about 135.
Yeah.
So 135, you're gonna pay your lender off, right?
Right. Right.
That's gonna give you a number. Well, we just dropped 130 here.
Okay.
130. Let's say that's gonna give you $95,000, right?
Okay. All out.
But yeah, all out 95,000.
Okay.
But let's say at the end of the day, we got $95,000 left, which what that will look like is you get the 225.
Okay.
You're gonna pay 130 back to your lender plus interest.
Exactly.
We ain't gonna add the interest in there. We just gonna keep it simple.
Okay.
That's gonna leave you $95,000.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So with the $95,000, that's technically gonna be a check that's gonna be cut out for you at closing. But it may not be 95. It may be less than that because you got closing costs that the title company has, as well as little fees that the closing company may have, as well, or the refinance company.
For those who don't know what closing costs is, can you kind of break that down and kind of let them know what is closing costs, like after you structure a deal?
Yeah, so what closing costs pretty much consist of, you got deed stamps, you got the title search, you have if you do a municipal lien search like what we do municipal lien search of all our properties.
Okay.
And then they have some other little small fees that's here and there. And then if you have lawyer and attorney fees, some of them may be from $1,500 to $1,600.
Gotcha.
Whatever and so that'll be totaled up on a preliminary HUD statement once you buy a property.
Okay.
And then whatever that totals out to be, that typically it'll be 3% of whatever that purchase price that you're dealing with in reference to that particular HUD statement.
Okay, so pretty much it'll be 3% of, on this deal, $300,000. No, for it's a purchase price, right?
Yeah, no. So the purchase price in this particular one, if you go in, you're going to refinance it from, they'll pull it from the 3% from here. They'll pull 3% from the purchase price.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then, so, which is total somewhere around about $9,000.
Right.
$9,000.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then, once you get into those numbers, there's going to be a difference left. So it's going to be a balance left.
Okay.
So let's say that $95,000, let's say it turns into between, I guesstimated, $80,000 to $86,000.
Okay.
So once you fully this whole process, let's say, so you bought it at $300,000. Well, I'm sorry, no, the ARV is $300,000.
Right.
Let's say you bought it at $100,000. Let's say you put $30,000 into it, and let's say the rental income is going to give you $3,000 a month, which is 10% of the ARV here, and then we're going to refinance it. Once you refinance it, that $300,000, they're going to give you 75%
of that.
which is the 225, right?
Yes, sir.
The 225, you're going to subtract what you got here, from these two here, totaled up. You're going to subtract 130. That's going to give you 95,000.
Okay.
And out of 95,000, well, not the 95,000, but from the purchase price, you got a 3% closing cost. And then from there, it's going to leave you a balance of somewhere in the family of 80 to 86,000.
Profit.
Yep. Then that check will be your check that you'll be cut for the difference at the closing time at the closing title company.
And then last and foremost, and then you'll hit the last, which is repeat, correct?
Yep.
And do the whole process all over.
We'll repeat.
Okay.
So the structure is, this is tax-free money.
Right.
You don't
correct.
pay taxes on bank money.
Okay.
So by this being tax-free money, you want to go out and repeat the whole process. And if you're smart, you can take this process. You can buy 4 or 5 properties with that $86,000 using other people's money again. Using other people's money again. And so for the most part, hopefully that wasn't too kind of out of whack for y'all if y'all didn't understand it. But replay the video back and forth, so y'all able to kind of see exactly what it means. And then also you can also do other research. Like I said, we're not the only people who pretty much teaching the BRRRR method at this particular point, but the whole point is for people to understand the financial literacy.
Right.
And as you get in real estate, everything is financial literacy. And so as you now in pursuit of your very first property that you have, if you want to go into a single family, a duplex, or what you looking at as far as a quad, what is your first property you're looking to capture?
I'm all about more than one door, so I say kind of like duplex, at least two starting out. Single family I'm okay, but I just feel a duplex is more interesting. So I mean, and from my perspective, you could do the you could actually do this BRRRR method on a duplex as well too, not just a single family.
Correct. Yeah. So we own quite a bit of duplexes and a triplex, and we own some quads and a little bit more. So yes, you can do a BRRRR method. Really, kind of pretty much anything.
Always up to multifamily to at least 100 units.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can BRRRR method. At the end of the day, it's just numbers. And my philosophy on 2 doors is always better than 1, because if you have a house, so I don't like buying and holding houses. Right. But to each his own. The reason why I don't like buying houses is because I look at it like this: if a tenant moves out, if you are going to rent it out to a tenant, you have to be responsible for that's expense for you.
Yes, sir.
Until someone moves in it. If you take a duplex out, now I'm not saying it's not going to be of expense. You may be at least 50% of expense, because you have at least 1 unit still renting out, while the other one is vacant, and you're still getting somewhat of an income coming in. Right. Compared to just a house being vacant, you're responsible for all the repairs and all the other stuff, which the repairs are going to come in any type of property. Okay. But you're just going to be responsible for a lot of the stuff as you continue until you get it rented out again.
Now your actually first deal, as far as buying the holding, was a single family, or was it a duplex, triplex? What was your first deal? So my first deal was a duplex. So, and actually we did this process here at Out Refinance. Okay. And we bought the property at 150,000, believe it or not, 150, and it was worth about 300,000. Nice. So we went to, actually we bought it as a package deal because it came with a vacant lot, and as we bought it as a package deal, fixed up the duplex, and we only put 20,000 into the duplex. It didn't need that much. Okay. Actually, I only think it was sound like a lot of overhang in that property. Actually, we did it as 10. We put 10,000 into it, and as we put 10,000 into the duplex, we was all in at 160. Okay. And right now in this day and age, people don't give you the full appraisal of it. So when we got into our cash out refi, they ended up giving us 272 instead of the 300,000. Gotcha. And one more question. Far as when you said appraisal, how long do it usually take after you got it all pretty, looking good? How long do it usually take for appraisal to come out and actually take a look at everything and actually give you your mark, your value, how much this property really is now after a full turnkey? So pretty much, when you're in a refinance from our particular process, it only took us about
about 2 weeks to close.
Okay.
But they didn't send a regular appraisal out. They just send a person to go out to take the pictures. So
Okay.
nowadays they do all the appraisals electronic.
Okay.
So they doing from the area view.
Okay.
Area view, and then they kind of just get a scope of the area. It's kind of tough because you have people who may live in down south and they don't really know our market.
Right.
And that's kind of what the situation was. So they gave us a 272 value of it. And as a 272 value, when we got to our full closeout, I think they gave us a check of $67,000.
Okay.
And that was us. That was us buying it at 150. We put 10 into it, 160, and then we refied
Right.
it at 272. Plus the little closing costs and the fees. We pretty much walked away with a $67,000 check.
Okay.
And then from there, we just repeated the process.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so like I say, as we say, the BRRRR method is a really good method that you can do to pretty much help build your portfolio pretty fast. With us being numbers, number geeks, how you say it? Numbers is everything in real estate. As you continue to do your numbers in real estate, you want to make sure that, especially if you're new, you don't want to get into real estate and you kind of get, butt hurt from the start, and then you kind of pretty much steer you away from real estate. It's all about being precise, or trying to be precise as possible, but you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to hire the wrong crews. You're going to learn from all the other good stuff.
Right.
You're going to learn from the bad lenders. You're going to learn from all the good stuff. But if you stick to the process, real estate can be a valuable asset and tool, definitely using this BRRRR method to help build your long-term wealth, the generational wealth, which is what we're shooting for.
Right.
The generational wealth, and really just teaches people the financial literacy of what it looks like in our community, in our culture, of how to responsibly, invest your money, and how to responsibly do business with people of good character and good nature and integrity. And at the end of the day, representing a good name to stand behind you.
Right.
And that's something we're striving on in New Jack City.
Okay.
Transparency. Everybody being transparency. Making sure everybody's getting quality work done.
Right.
Making sure everybody pretty much is held accountable. And
Right.
that's what we think. We're holding each other accountable, and at the end of the day, it's pretty much we're all in this together. But the lack
Right.
of education, don't let it be the lack of you not succeeding as well.
Right. Exactly.
So
okay.
as we continue to drop all this knowledge and all this information, like I say,
Listen
everybody
to
should
stuff,
chime
yeah.
into it. Like I say, if you got any questions, we have all our Facebook, all our contact information there, our Facebook groups, like I said, social media groups for y'all can reach out to us directly. And as we continue to keep this movement. So New Jack City, up here in Duval County, Jacksonville, Florida. Y'all stay tuned, follow us, link with us if you're in the area. Hit us up, we'll come out and eat with you. Just kind of really shoot the breeze, man, and just build relationships. So y'all stay tuned for what we got going on. Like I said, if you got any questions, y'all follow us on all our social media platforms. All right, cool.